In Colors of Clemson, we examine many issues of race on Clemson's campus. The purpose of the first article, The Truth Behind Tillman, is to inform Clemson students about how the name of the Tillman Hall building located on Clemson University's campus can be offensive to many African American students. The article highlights how Clemson University's history is usually sugar-coated by tour guides and does not reflect or acknowledge the reality that Benjamin Tillman, the man the building was named after, was a racist, hot-tempered man that is far from an honorable role model. To African American students, it is disrespectful to ignore Benjamin Tillman's dark side and only highlight his positives. The article is simply trying to expose Clemson University's lack of understanding towards the African American students and the unmentioned abuse of their ancestors by men like Benjamin Tillman. By acknowledging all sides of Clemson's history, students would be able to feel more united on and off campus. In our second article, Roots of Racism by Kelly Sinclair, it shows the argument that those make if racism is easier to talk about today or in the past. There have been many events in the past that contributed to the formation of America today. Those may still say that racism isn't easy to talk about now, but without all the movements and wars, we would be nowhere. Now we have places that we can talk about it in a safe and comfortable environment. There are organizations at the higher level and many on college campuses that take place now to encourage those to talk about racism and discrimination and how they or others are affected. The fight against slavery and discrimination is coming to an end and in the right direction. Although there are still families and individuals who experience racism in their everyday lives, people are taking a stance at ending debates and violence. In our third article, A.D. Carson mentioned a video that there are two different brochures in the office. One brochure for the quote Clemson experience and one for the quote African American experience. The Clemson tour fails to mention any black history that has been a part of Clemson. The Board of Trustees may not want to ruin the reputation of Clemson University, so they choose what history Clemson can speak about on their tours. By doing this, they are making the minority community more eager to find a way to talk about their history. In Black Lives Matter, for better or worse, Joe Baker examines the Black Lives Matter movement and the good and bad it has and does accomplish for the black people of the United States. This article dives into the division of the races and how different tactics accomplish different things. The essay draws conclusions about what is effective and what is ineffective in the Black Lives Matter movement. Lindley Russell's article, Living as a Minority on Campus, talks about how being a minority affects one's social life at Clemson University. In this article, she seeks to address many problems associated with being a minority on a predominantly white campus. The essay also addresses the lack of diversity on campus and seeks multiple solutions to this problem. Colors of Clemson also features many other short articles that examine questions such as, there is a high percentage of white professors at Clemson. Does being a minority affect one's educational experience? Or a question like, how would one's religious beliefs affect their perspective on race? Or do you think Clemson is doing enough to promote awareness for diversity on campus? Or what is the impact of racism on Clemson for different groups of people? Or what are ways that the university can address the history of Clemson roots in slavery and segregation? So as you can see, The Colors of Clemson will be an interesting magazine. You all should read it.